Harley Quinn, issue 4.
Obviously, written by Stephanie Phillips. And then the reason I am reading this trash, art by Riley Rosmo. Yeah, this issue picks up right where we left off with Harley down in the sewers chatting with Grundy, who isn't just doing the Grundy rhyme, he's kind of doing Hulk speak for a lot of it. And they're playing chess for some reason, and Harley has one of the trolls, the little things with the hair,
Aye,
you know, the little toys.
sounds
yeah,
about right. Yeah.
I think it's trolls. She has one of those, and she's all feeling sorry for herself, and she accidentally pops the head off the troll, and she's like, "Oh, I break everything," and the big recurring theme that comes up this issue is Solomon Grundy says so, because no, you Harley Quinn, and she repeats back, "Me Harley Quinn," and that's kind of a big theme for this issue with her. The idea of her kind of taking that back for herself, but it's a lot of her just being like, "Oh, I don't know, everyone's a Bat character now. Should I really be a Bat character?" There's a weird joke that I do not like, where she's saying, "Oh, I'm not Batman or Batgirl or Batdog or whoever else Bats is slapping his symbol on these days," and then Solomon Grundy interrupts her to say, "Whomever." She's getting grammar lessons from Solomon Grundy. Really?
Bat Quinn, Harley Bat.
I don't think there's a good name for it.
Bat Jester.
It's so bad. But yeah, no, I don't. This is a really common joke. Whoever, and then someone slightly unexpected correcting it with whomever.
Mm-hmm.
But Solomon Grundy, really, yeah, not good. And then Grundy checkmates her.
I can tell you right now that I have never said the word whomever, so I've definitely.
That's because you definitely needed correcting at some point. Then
yes, I definitely need corrected at some point, and there's all the shits I give. There's right here.
Yeah, so the rest of the issue continues. We get a bit of Kevin at Strange's place. He's in a straitjacket and being experimented on. And if there's one thing I hate more than Riley Rosmo art, it's Riley Rosmo art doing psychedelic shit. Because it does a wacky layout. The only thing I will praise this layout for, and it's more of a saving grace rather than praise, is it has arrows of where I should read it, and the panels are numbered so that I don't get lost. And it's a saving grace. It's a saving grace and praise in the sense that I needed that. It's a problem in that you shouldn't need that. It feels like it's fixing a problem that they've caused themselves. It didn't really need to be there. Frustrating. But Harley's then coming to rescue him, and there is one funny beat here that I will give it, where she gets there and there's some goons outside picking up the delivery of whatever shit Strange is getting delivered, and Harley's she sees them, and she's coming up to it, but you don't see Harley then, and we cut to the goons and you see the Batman shadow on the wall, and it goes, I am the night, and then it cuts up and it's Harley up on the rooftop wearing a cape, and she's putting her fingers up by the side of her head to make bat ears in the shadow. I'm guessing she's very good at the bat voice. If it made because it works, they run away. They just drop what they're doing and literally just run away. It's like, nah, I'm not getting involved with Batman. She must be very good at the bat voice. But that was mildly amusing. She breaks in, she's looking around, she gets into the lab. Some horrible layouts again where things that should be inventive, like she knocks a beaker of chemicals onto the floor, and the crash, the crash of the sound effect makes up the panel of the beaker. but it kind of just clashes. It's not neat, and because the word, it's a word where a lot of the details are in the middle of the letters. Like C, for example, it's in the middle that defines that it's a C and not an O. So you really have to look through the word to see what's actually happening. It was really awkward. Inventive layouts gone wrong for me. But she runs away, running from guards, and she gets in a lift. And I say lift because she uses the word lift for some reason. I didn't think Americans did that.
Maybe occasionally.
She's there going, ugh, there's nothing worse than an overcrowded lift when they all get in with her. And then on the next page, while we're fighting, what is a reasonably nice panel layout where it goes down in panels, but the floors are going up, and you kind of see it going as it goes. It's got a little bit of an elevator fight going on, and she uses the word elevator on this page. Like, it's so weird, like to flip back and forth like that from one page to the next.
She's just been watching a lot of Downton Abbey or something. I don't know.
Do they have lifts on that show?
That was the joke, Matt. That was the joke.
To be fair, they probably did. Not for people, obviously, but they probably had
dumb waiters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. No, I've never watched a single episode.
I'll be honest, I thought it was set like 100 years ago, so I assumed there was no lifts.
But anyway, back to this issue. This is almost at the end. She gets to the top, and who should be there, of course, but Hugo Strange and some goons. And this is where I was very confused for about half a second. So you know how usually on the last page of a comic it will have a next something or other, so to make it very clear that you're on the last page in a single issue. They tend to be removed for the trade, of course, but in a single issue they'll tend to have something little designated being like next time this, whatever. There's none of that, so it's not like a full page splash or anything that's like, oh, this is obviously the last page. It's Harley, Hugo's there going, oh, I'm so pleased you could join us, and she drops an F-bomb. Censored, of course. And then I turned the page thinking there was more, and I was very confused because what I was greeted with was the Pride splash page advert, with all the characters.
Mm-hmm.
But reading from left to right, I didn't zoom out and immediately realize. I say zoom out, I don't mean physically. I mean like with my eyes. I didn't unfocus to kind of take in the full splash. I just looked, and the first character you see is Batwoman, and then I was like, "Wait, what's going on here?" And then I realized, "Oh, I'm on the advert. The issue's over." It was very confusing for not having something to make that clear that I was at the end of the issue.
I like that you referred to zooming out with your eyes.
Yeah,
that's something people do.
I feel like that made sense. Like I'm on a single page, and then a double page comes, and I don't refocus to look at the entire double page immediately. I'm still zoomed in on where I would be reading the first panel. Essentially, my eyes are ready to read the panel. And yeah, I didn't catch there was an advert right away because there was nothing at the end of the issue to inform me that it was the last page, and it was very confusing for a good second or so where I had no idea what I was reading.
I hope the next issue of Harley Quinn at the last page just says "End of issue, moron" as the final little caption.
Issue's done, dummy.
I'll allow it. That would be fair. Overall, though, issue is... This is the first one since the first issue where I've liked most of the writing. Didn't like the first bit with Grundy, but I like what everything was with Harley after that, with her kind of trying to find her place. Kind of, is she part of the Bat family or not? Going out and doing something heroic and actually, trying to rescue someone. The Batman shadow gag with the I am the Night. I like all that stuff. The art is possibly the worst it's been. The whole book with awful layouts, horrible psychedelic trip stuff that is actively confusing to read if you don't follow their markers that they had to put in afterwards. Yeah, it's a rough one. Because of that, I'll probably give it a 4. Maybe a 4.5.